This is Kval TV Eugene. First, fair, accurate. Kval News starts right now.
And we got the call early in the morning, and of course it's the call that a mother would never want.
A mother recounts hearing that her son, a University of Oregon football player, was critically hurt in what she calls an horrific beating. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Winters.
And I'm David Walker. Thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, 19-year-old Rob Beard, a kicker for the Ducks, is out of intensive care and improving. Police say he was attacked in a brawl around midnight Saturday.
The Eugene Police Violent Crimes Unit is on the case looking for the man who beat Beard into critical condition.
Done. I went back to sleep. And
UO senior Dan Straub says there were actually two fights he witnessed from his apartment near 17th and Patterson.
When I woke up, it was to just a loud noise, a big thump, and I came down, I looked from that window right there, and there's just somebody laying in these bushes. I saw feet.
A neighbor called police and others tried to help the guy in the bushes, who we found out later was 18-year-old Oregon kicker Mike Boland. Dan thought the fight was over, went back into his apartment to go back to bed, but then he heard an even louder noise, came out here and saw 20 to 40 people in a brawl. That's where police say Rob Beard, another U of O kicker, came to Boland's defense and was beaten up.
I saw him getting hit in the back of the head, just cold cock right from behind when he wasn't looking.
This is video of Beard playing for the Ducks. The sophomore made 83 kickoffs this season. Police say on the ground, Beard was kicked repeatedly in the head. Witnesses say the same guy beat up both football players.
Police came from up Patterson, obviously, and the focus of it was over here. The aftermath was pretty intense.
Dozens of people saw the fight. Investigators are going through all those interviews and looking for the attacker. Meanwhile, Beard was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. His mother, Leslie Beard, who calls her son Robbie, says he was hurt worse than she feared, but says Robbie is now improving.
Nothing is serious enough to cause any disfigurement. He'll be fine. He will get through this.
Leslie Beard rushed up from California. She says a steady stream of Oregon coaches and players are visiting in a huge show of support.
I was really impressed with the caring and the concern.
Rob Beard will have surgery on his broken nose today, but he is out of intensive care. Witnesses describe the attacker as a black man wearing a red hooded sweatshirt who left in a vehicle with Washington plates. If you know anything about the fight Saturday night, you're asked to call Eugene Police.
A fellow student is accusing two University of Oregon football players of theft at a campus fraternity house. Police responded to a call from the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity house early Sunday morning. According to OregonLive.com, fraternity member Max Wolford accuses U of O quarterback Jeremiah Masoli and wide receiver Garrett Embry of the thefts. News of the accusation spread quickly via Twitter and other social networking sites Sunday and Monday. We checked with the Eugene Police Department to get to the bottom of the rumors. Spokeswoman Melinda Kletzak tells Kval the case has been assigned to a detective and an investigation is underway. Regarding the two athletes, Kletzak says they have not been arrested, are not suspects, and are not people of interest. The police department denied our request for a copy of the police report, saying it is an ongoing investigation. We went to the SAE house on campus hoping to talk with Max Wolford. Hello, I'm Dave from Kval. We're just looking to see if Max was here to talk to him.
He's not right now, and at this point we have no comment.
I also spoke with U of O Athletic Department spokesman Dave Williford, who told me he has heard nothing that implicates the two players, saying apparently something occurred. At this stage, it has not been substantiated that any U of O student athletes are involved. Now, Williford did say this afternoon that the fraternity student had contacted the athletic department about the thefts and the possible involvement of football players. We'll continue following this story with updates as we get them.
It is time now for our first look at the weather forecast with Kval's Seth Wayne.
He joins us from the Kval Weather Center.
Really on and off today as we start off the new work week. A few scattered showers in Eugene and Springfield, as well as in Coos Bay, North Bend. Scattered wet weather just south of Roseburg. So Canyonville, Myrtle Creek dealing with some of that wet weather as we speak. 49 degrees right now in Roseburg, 52 Coos Bay, North Bend. It's 50 here in Eugene, 40 Bend and Redmond. Still quite chilly out east of the Cascades. Tomorrow, pretty much the same scoop. We are looking at a few showers along the coast and here in the valley with daytime highs in the low to mid 50s. 30s atop the mountains, but there is a partial clearing that is heading our way. We'll talk about those midweek sun breaks coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Seth. We have new information tonight in the case of Leah Freeman. The Coquille teenager was 15 years old when she disappeared in June of 2000. More than a month later, Freeman's body was found off a dirt road. The investigation into her death went cold long ago, but now, almost 10 years later, it is heating up. Coquille Police and the Coos County District Attorney announced today they are reactivating the case.
The Bethel School District is considering taking away a student's driver's license if the student has been suspended or expelled at least twice. Under an Oregon law, a school superintendent can make a request to ODOT to take away a student's privileges to drive. The Bethel District is holding a meeting tonight at 7 p.m. at its district office to talk about this idea. It is open to the public. Kval News will be there, and we will bring you more tonight at 11. Fewer teens are rushing out to get their driver's licenses when they turn 16. A little more than 30% of 16-year-olds got their licenses in 2008. 20 years before that, in 1988, more than 44% of 16-year-olds were driving. Some officials believe the number of teens wanting to drive has gone down because teens don't have to go someplace to see their friends. They can log onto the internet and chat with them from home.
Well, putting the economy in focus tonight, plans to fill the pit next door to the Eugene Public Library reach the next stage tonight. City councilors are expected to approve Lane Community College as the project of choice. LCC wants to use the old Sears building site to build a new campus downtown. City planners say this could provide the spark for more projects in downtown.
We're looking at bringing new people into downtown with Lane students and their workforce coming, expanding their services down here, and it's really going to be a great tie-in for the rest of the downtown too. We think it'll help lift everything.
The college hopes to build the new center to replace the current LCC downtown complex on Willamette Street. President Mary Spildy says ground preparation work could begin as soon as late this year.
The State Employment Department is out with the December county jobless rates. Lane County's rate dropped to 10.9% from 11% in November. Lynn County's rate also dropped to 13.5%. Benton County's rate increased to 7.4%, still low. In Douglas County, unemployment dropped to 14.2%, and in Coos County, the rate increased to 12.4%. The Employment Department says the gap between the wealthy and the middle class in Oregon is growing. A new report says between 1990 and 2008, annual pay for Oregon's top 2% of wage earners grew by almost 30%. Meantime, the middle class had an increase of about 2% in that same time period. Figures are not available yet for this year.
Well, today, President Barack Obama unveiled new initiatives that he hopes will stop the erosion of America's middle class. In a preview of Wednesday's State of the Union address, the president and Vice President Joe Biden pitched several new proposals, among them doubling the child care tax credit for families earning less than $85,000, increasing federal funding for child care programs, and capping student loans so recent graduates don't have to pay more than 10% of their income.
A change like that makes a real difference for a kid just out of school.
Proposals that make it a bit easier for families to get by, for students to get ahead, and for workers to retire.
The president is also calling for more money to help families caring for elderly relatives. President Obama's State of the Union address is Wednesday night with coverage beginning at 6 p.m. You can watch it right here on Kval.
Now, a Kval follow-up. The new Eugene Police Department taser policy is in effect. Officers will be trained to use tasers on people posing a threat to the officer or someone else. The change is in response to a federal court ruling that police can be sued for using a taser on an unarmed person who poses no threat. You can read the entire report at kval.com/newslinks. Tomorrow, Oregon voters will decide on 2 tax measures in a special election. If you have not voted yet, it is too late to mail your ballot. You can, however, drop it off by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. We have a map for all of those drop boxes in Lane County at kval.com.
And remember, Kval is your home for election coverage tomorrow night, both on air and online. We'll have the latest results on Kval News at 11, and the results will update on our website as soon as they come in. Coming up on Kval News at 5, an estimated 1 in 9 people in Haiti is searching for shelter. New sites for massive camps are being worked on outside Port-au-Prince.
Also coming up tonight's Health Alert, a new movie shot in Oregon is raising awareness about a disease you may have never even heard of.
We're talking about your air quality now, and Arapa says it's A-OK here in Eugene, Springfield, so clean burning certainly allowed. It's cautioned against in Oak Ridge. 42 degrees at 8 p.m., 39 at 11:37 at 6 in the morning. Your evening is calling for some scattered rain. More on your weather's next.
This is Kval TV Eugene.